Wishing you were here, wishing for a tender remedy from loneliness, from separation. There's a ship on the horizon. It flies a shredded flag. Those aboard bear the scars of war, repression, and deprivation. The youngest haunt the railing for the sight of land. The elders crowd the cabins and passageways, intent on rallying the despondent, urging them, do not lose hope. Hope, what a concept. There are many stories, myths, and poems about hope. Emily D. says, it's the thing with feathers. Does that thing fly away at the slightest hint of danger? Does it disappear in the woodlands and mountains of despair? We choose to say no to both suggestions. Hope, in her vision, seems to nestle, read nest, at the center of each of us, and only falls away when and if we don't embrace it. Yes, it's up to us to nurture our rendition of hope. For those displaced passengers, we must offer as much hope as is individually possible. In essence, hope must be shared if it is to be vital, viable, and genuine. We are a community, complete with our successes and our subterfuge, our mistakes, and our misery. To ignore an opportunity to offer hope to one member is to abandon a fragment of our own. Mortality is cruel. A life without hope is even crueler. We cannot change the stakes, but we can play the hand we are dealt with great passion and even greater compassion. At least, I hope so. Who would have guessed? And in such sedate surroundings, let the play begin. And one by one the bets are placed and dice are tossed, and winner take all. And on the edge of a crowd stands a sweet young lady with her hand out, and soon it's filled with chips, and love is in the air. And quaint and quiet the crowd, big and brawling the instincts to react. Careful what you reach for, careful what you desire. Wish, fantasize, etc. Each cage will be rattled and each rabbit will bite back. Never underestimate hyperbole. If it can sink the play, it will. On the other hand, in some circles, misery is just another word for mischief. Don't come this way if you're not prepared to wrestle for your keep and for the record. There's no such thing as a gentle exploiter of ceremony. In fact, being in charge carries little weight when the lights go down and all hell breaks loose. So, when a toast is proffered, be prepared. Down your glass with gusto and toss it with intention to the fireplace for all to see and hear it shatter. And what do we have here? A bit of jocularity in the midst of romance and duplicity. Who can ever be sure of what comes next? When the mood shifts, there's bound to be a wave coming. Think a tsunami following an earthquake. Think of him coming after her, coming after him. Got it? One's racing to be with her, the other racing to be with her too, but without him. One example of the triangle at work. So much art from this obvious configuration, boring and intriguing. But let's move on. Rain, and she's walking her beagle. He's soaked, but could care less. She's dripping, but seems happy to be with him, and without conflict. What conflict? And how do we know? Just a guess. And here comes the quickening, the rush, to be turned around, not too slow, to be overrun or overturned. See the blue blouse? Meant for the moment. But the moment shifted, and now it needs red, or is it yellow? She's settled for mauve. To hell with anything anyone says, and with that, she's off to her rooms. And he's on his way too, stumbling in the dark and recovering with a wet kiss offered as a prize. By her, priceless. Yes and no. With whom then? Unique. Not so much, not to care, not to worry. It's then the mystery reveals and unravels, and the tempo too rises. There he is again, smiling at her, smiling too. Was it worth the climb? And was the big bet won?